Good morning. Thank you all for coming in. Glad you're able to get something to eat. Where's Dustin? Damn.
Oh, no, you're fine. You don't have to move. I'm just
Everybody took the seats, so I moved.
I would love to, thank our sponsors for bringing in lunch. It's a great looking potato buffet out there. I don't know if I can get one. I'll save me something out there so I can eat a little bit. I'd like to thank Stratum for coming in, and I'm going to let them take it away and do their little presentation.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We're Stratum Foundation Repair. We've been here before. I've seen some presentations though. So what I'm going to do, I think we got about 10 minutes. Yeah. I'm just going to go through a real quick slide of how we would present to your clients, whether you're representing the seller or the buyer. We kind of go through the process of if the homeowner needs foundation work, what we're representing for them, and how the process would work. So this is kind of a speeded up version of how we would represent one of your clients. So first thing we're going to do is come out to the property. Either you procure our services or your client has, doesn't matter. We'll come out to the property and we do a drawing on the home to determine what kind of work a home may or may not need. If we determine that a home needs work, the first thing we're going to do is recommend a type of pier. We have 3 different types of piers. The first one on the left here, right there, it's a concrete press piling pier. It's your most cost-sensitive way to do foundation work. So if you're working with a seller, chances are we're not going to be pushing you on a steel pier. There's no use to over-budget things. All 3 of these piers come with a lifetime, no-cost transferable warranty. So if you're working with a seller and they go with a more cost-sensitive product, they are not getting a more cost-sensitive warranty. All 3 piers come with a lifetime transferable warranty. There is no cost to transfer the warranty. So in this industry, a lot of things you'll notice is there's a transfer fee. I've seen as cheap as $100. I've seen as expensive as $500. That's a transfer from one homeowner to the next. We show up to one that's already had piers done, and we realize that current homeowner no longer has a warranty from the work done 10 years ago because they or previous seller did not transfer the warranty. So these are little gotchas in the industry on how the foundation repair companies can get away from warranting their work. We warranty our work, not the individual living in the home. So there is no cost to transfer the warranty. There's no paperwork to fill out. We just want to make sure every new homeowner knows that we did the work whenever we did the work. Every job that we do comes with a independent engineer report. So if we propose to you and your client that work needs to be done, we do not do that work until an independent engineer confirms the repair plan. So an engineer will come out and it's part of our cost, so it's a turnkey process. We procure the engineer for your client or for you. So the engineer will come out and he'll do an initial evaluation on the home. If he agrees with our diagnosis, we move forward, we do the work, and then the engineer will come back after the work is done and certify the repairs. That way, if you're working for the seller and you're ready to sell the home, you've got a certified engineer report saying we did exactly what the structural engineer wanted us to do. If you come across one of our homes that you're purchasing, you're working with the buyer, we will have all these on file. So if you know that we did the work, let us know. We will send over the engineer report showing we did the work 5 years ago and it was certified by the structural engineer. So that's included in every proposal that we do. Another cost or another service that's provided is a leak test. We do a post-leak test on every job that we perform. This is to make sure there's been no undiagnosed leaks underneath the home before the work was begun or after the repairs have been done. Now, we don't typically do a pre-leak inspection, but if you or your client or we feel there might be possibly a leak, we can procure that service. So just ask us, can we go ahead and do a leak test before any work begins? So we can ensure that the plumber gets out there and does leak before. We do carry a $2 million general liability policy. A lot of companies in this industry, they do not insure you or your client. We carry a $2 million general liability policy that basically protects you against anything that happens on our end that's negligent. In this industry, negligent really ties into you overlit the house. There's a lot of minutia there, but we do have protection for you and your client. This is an example of a footprint that process of installing the pier. So that top left picture, every 6 feet, you'll see a square that we've dug out. That's us installing the pier. As you can see, we take all of the homeowner's soil, we put it on tarp, we'll put the pier in, lift the house, and we place everything back into that hole. The slide on the right, the picture on the right, if there's any shrubs, We do our best to pull those shrubbery out, set it on tarp, and we'll pack everything back in. We don't guarantee survival of any kind of horticultural shrubbery. We do our best, though, to make sure we leave the smallest footprint possible. This next slide is basically just the process I will review with the homeowner on. Here's what they can expect. Here's what's going to happen pre-installation. Here's what's going to happen during the installation. And then here's what's going to happen post-installation with all parties associated with the repairs. We are a local company. Our brick and mortar building is in McKinney, but we service all of DFW. This slide here is the jobs that we did last year. We do a lot, as you can see, we do a lot of work. We are not a fly-by-night company. Been around for 17 years. I usually bring this up to a homeowner not only to show them, hey, this is a reputable company, but B, when they sell their house, the buyer might want to know who did the foundation work. Are they around? What's their Better Business Bureau rating? How good is their warranty? So it kind of gives the buyer of the property a little bit of a warm and fuzzy inside that says this is a reputable company. We're 5-star rated reviews with all of your Google reviews, your BBB reviews. That top left little picture there, the NCFRS, that's the National Foundation Repair. They certify companies within their umbrella. It takes a little bit higher of a criteria to be under the National Foundation Repair Association. They just require higher criteria to be a member. This is a very loosey-goosey industry. It doesn't take much to be a foundation repair company, but the National Foundation Repair Association does set higher criteria for you to be a member. That was the quick. It usually takes about an hour for us to perform an inspection for a customer. That includes the walk around of the house, the inspection. I think I should have a little one that I've already done here, showing you. So when we show up to a home, this is what we're doing. This is our report. So the purple dots are where I'm representing peers. These readings, these numerical values are elevations that we come in. You might have seen it before with a foundation company. We show up with this yellow machine. Basically, we measure the sloping of the foundation. Every house is different. No house is perfect. What we're looking for is not necessarily do you have a crack somewhere. That can just be cosmetic. We want to see how the home is reacting to what these elevation readings are telling us, because there should be benchmarks there. So the example of this house where you see the shaded yellow, doors in this area weren't working. You had these, I'm sure you've seen them before, cracks over the door frames. They were all pointing toward that back part of the house. So we recommended peering up the back part of the house. We'll come in. Now this customer, we'll take pictures of the house. This cost was $63.80 for 12 steel piers with an engineer report, with a leak test. Most cities require permitting for this type of work. Deck removal and replace. There was a deck in the area that we had to install some piers. 3 concrete breakouts. So all of that cost broke down to $63.80, and that is for our steel piers. We average about $280 per pier on the concrete pier. So this job would have been half that on concrete piers. So a lot of times people expect the worst. When we get out there, it ends up turning out not being as bad as you think. So let us get out there. We can usually turn around inspections for customers. Nasa is our operations manager there in the back. She will answer all the calls when you call in to schedule repairs. Make sure you let them know you're a realtor. We'll try to get to you within 24 hours. We understand a lot of these estimates are you're in your option period and need to be done yesterday. We get it. So we'll have, come summer, we'll have 3 inspectors on the outside manager. If I can't get to you, we'll have somebody that's able to get to you within 24 hours. If it's on lockbox, let us know. That way we can get to it before hours, after hours. You don't have to be there. We can do the report and email to you the same day. That was a quick version. Any questions? Yes, ma'am? Yes, we do pier and beam. It's a little different than how we work the concrete slabs. With a pier and beam, we will go out and we'll measure the slab or measure the subfloor, but we won't do repairs until an engineer comes out and confirms what we're recommending. Because we don't get under the house and touch every piece of wood, every joist, because there are a lot of times with wood rot, things you just can't see. So we'll tell you, here's what we think needs to be done. With a concrete slab, it's black and white. Right. You know what needs to be done. On a pier and beam, there's a lot more moving parts. So we'll give you a guesstimate and then say, here's an engineer we recommend. bring him out, and he'll finalize it, and then we might have to requote that. But we do work on pier and beams. Yes, sir.
Closing and funding?
Closing and funding, very good. Sorry, I didn't bring that up. We do pay at closing. How this typically works is we want a fully executed contract between buyer and seller, and we will do the work 2 weeks before that scheduled closing date. So as long as we've got skin in the game between your buyer or your seller, and it's a fully executed contract, they do not have to pay us until work is complete, and we'll collect from title. We also do financing. We have great programs. The most popular that we see, we use a third-party lender called Interbank. They do same as cash, no interest, no payments for up to 12 months. We see this a lot as a little bridge loan. So a lot of times what you're going to run into, even if we'll do it at closing, if you're working for the seller, it's in such bad shape, it's hard to market the home before doing the work. So you're telling the buyer, hey, we're going to have this done. We've already agreed with the foundation company. They're not going to write an offer because it's just visually they don't like how it looks. So we can finance them for 12 months, no interest, no payments. So that way we can do the work prior to getting a contract, get the work done. Now you get the home market ready, they close, and go pay off that loan that was no interest, no payments for 12 months.
Okay.
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Can you work on a house with a basement?
We'll have an engineer look at it. We can, if we have access to the basement. We've worked on, those quick car lube oil places where you go down into the bay where they're changing your oil. You just want to make sure structurally that an engineer is going to approve the method of work. Sometimes basements require a different type of repair, not just putting in piers. So if an engineer approves the way we can fix it, we'll work on anything.
I'll just be your testimonial. I actually just use them.
Yes.
That's coming up.
Okay, not that one.
Oh,
Not that one, a different one. I just used them.
Just last week.
Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
Oh.
They just put in 8 piers, did a great job.
Thank you.
Super, always great. And that is the thing. When you call, they'll say, oh, we can't get you in for like a week. And I'm like, I'm under option. They're like, all right, so tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll make it work. Before hours, after hours, I think the seller was Evan.
Yes.
Very, very nice guy.
we're going to be talking during contract.
Oh.
So just let us know. If we don't know your situation, it's hard to fulfill your need. So just let NASA know whenever you call in, hey, this is an option period. We need to get there ASAP, and we'll make it happen.
And you have super access?
I don't know if Ryan still has it. Our owner has a real estate license, but I don't think he's done it just for liability reasons. But we have lockbox. That's it. So if you give us a code, we used to have the super key. We don't have it.
Okay, super.
Yeah. Somehow, some way. Yes, ma'am.
On that pier and beam, if there's not a lot of crawl space available, when it comes time to do the repair, do you require tunneling? Or
Now,
do
when you
go
say,
for that,
is
or
it
what
just
do you
because
go
you don't have access to the crawl space,
for?
or
No,
there's?
it's like
Okay, so they'll have to tunnel.
tunneling.
Yeah.
So even if they're planning to work out the floorboard.
Well, we can cut a crawl space. So I guess that was my question is, I can cut out that subfloor
Yeah.
to get to the crawl space. We just need about 1.5 feet. They work on their backs, looking back up to the subfloor.
Okay.
So if they can get to it, they'll do it. But if they can't get from that subfloor underneath to the ground, if there's no space to work, we can't do it.
Okay.
But we'll cut and patch back up the subfloor.
Okay.
A lot of places they've covered up all the entry points.
Right.
Like refloored them or whatever. So we just have to create another, but we certainly can.
I
Anything else?
used you guys too, and you were wonderful.
Thank you.
Get ready to put you on the Carrollton property for me. Jason was out last week.
Jason Black. Yeah. So right now it's me as manager. Jason Black is another estimator, and then this summer we'll have another one. So very well, we're not pushy. We're just going to tell you what we think the home needs and explain to you if you have a lender what they're going to require. Because a lot of people don't understand. Your buyer might not have a problem with what they see, but their lender might. So we're going to tell you here are the specs of what FHA requires. I was a loan officer for 12 years, so I do have a little bit of background on what the financing side, so I can help you and your client transition that into how it's going to affect the foundation side. Thank you for that.
One last
Appreciate it.
question. Looks like you go quite a long way out. Do you have
All over.
a limit?
Uh,
An hour from Plano.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go
Generally.
Sherman, West
Okay,
Fort
yeah.
Worth.
All right, that's what I'm north, quite a bit.
Oh. Yeah, I live in Melissa, so I'll go out there. We go out to Sherman, Pottsboro, as far east as Greenville, as far
Okay.
south as. Anything else?
I have a quick question,
Yes, ma'am.
or at least to let them know. Do you guys, what do you guys require them to transfer those warranties?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You just need to make sure if we did work for your client, you were the seller, just make sure the buyer gets our information.
Is that, you get that?
Easy as that.
The warranty just stays with the house, so we have all the records, so if you
That's
have warranty
amazing.
issues, you call my office, you tell me.
I have to tell you guys, being on the title side, we are so specific about FedExing that warranty transfer
Sure.
check. Usually they charge $150, and if it's not received within
30 days.
they void that warranty altogether. So when I see that in special provisions, or if you guys don't put it, I don't know about it, or the title company does not know about it, but that is huge. I already.
Yeah, it's a gotcha. It's a way for them, it's a way for the company to get out of warranty just for paperwork.
Right.
So it's a mess, but, yeah, you just need to make sure they get our information. All right, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Next on our list, we're going to go to Miss Olderman, Deanna, First Western. Yay.
Hello, guys. Deanna Alderman, First Western Title. Just a little bit of background, which most of you might already know. Working with RE/MAX, Four Corners for 9.5 years now. Just honored today to be able to sponsor another class with you. So 2017 is working out for us. But also, we are doing giveaways for Cinco de Mayo, so it's kind of the theme for today. So make sure we have all of your business cards in here. We have a couple other little giveaways, but just to let you know that we are very invested in RE/MAX Four Corners and RE/MAX Prestige. I am wholeheartedly a supporter for RE/MAX. Anything that Chris Harden needs, any of you guys, I just want you to know that I am here for you, and I do not want you to ever feel like you have to go to another title company, but I know you guys do, and that's great, but I want you to know that with as many years as I've been in the business and been with RE/MAX, that I am here for anything you need, whether we have a contract here or with us, or if you have it at another title company. We are just a phone call away for any of your needs. But also to show you how much we're invested into the company, I want to introduce Marshall Watson. He is the owner of First Western Title. He came to visit. He wanted to go to one of the classes. What a perfect opportunity for RE/MAX. He came here from Florida.
Thanks.
And First International Title owns First Western Title. And so I wanted to introduce him, of course.
Marshall.
And then Jamie Ellis, we promoted her to an escrow officer closer, so we're really excited about that. Jamie has been my backbone with First Western Title. I couldn't do this without her. We have succeeded with this new company. The expectations were not even, I didn't even know what I could do, but I think it's because of my team. Jamie has pushed me. She has been my cheerleader. She's a sister I never had. And then, of course, Marshall, do you want to take over?
Sure.
Yeah, it's okay.
My name is Marshall Watson. I'm actually from Florida, but I bought a house in Colleyville. So I live over in Colleyville, Texas, and I came out here about 2 years ago. We bought First Western. I have a partner, Jim Moran. He does mainly the management stuff. I like sales, so I like to go out and meet people, see clients, and do all that kind of stuff. We actually are in Florida. We are the second largest. We're right behind First American. We have a total of 50 offices in between Florida, Texas, and New York. We have, and actually in Texas, we have 12 2P offices and 10, physical offices. We have Houston, we have San Antonio. And we're growing out into the Prosper area. We want to get into McKinney. We want to get, my daughter's name is Melissa, so I would love to be Melissa. I heard that's great. I personally have fallen in love with Texas. I was born and raised in Florida. My kids are back there. But I started coming out here like 2 years ago, and I stopped wanting to go home on Friday. So I called my wife. I said, honey, I don't want to come home. I want to come out there and see what it's like. So she came out. We lived in this kind of like a college apartment. Really started loving Texas. Just the people, the way they treat each other out here. It's so much more respect. I've even seen my wife back at home saying, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. She's from California. My parents were actually raised in Georgia. So, for me, this is like really a great place to live. And so I'm spending most of my time here now. I'm going to go back to California and this weekend just to do some client calls. But my background, a lot of default, and Bill Weber, we hired him to do sales. And Bill, we're really trying to upgrade our sales force and provide.
And you hired me?
Yeah. But I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'm assuming we really like to try to grow realtors business, and we have a great salesperson in Florida that comes out here a lot. Everybody, our team in Florida absolutely loves Texas. And so it's a big deal. But talking about Bill, we go back about 20 years. We're kind of default people. So we know a lot about the default business, and that's where our connections are. We know a lot of the banks and a lot of the other things. And I would suggest to you guys that when you have time, spend a little time with Bill and talk about default. I know that nobody thinks that is even on the Richter scale right now, and it's not right now, but actually the banks are looking at Texas a little bit because Texas has had such a high amount of appreciation that they do have it in the back of their mind. They're thinking about it because you guys you never had the appreciation like you've had before. And if the market takes a little bit of a turn, let's just say Toyota, for example, has to cut back 5% of, you're going to have a little issue there with some people that maybe have to get rid of their homes or something. So Bill would be a great resource for you guys if that market ever comes back. I hope it never comes back. Nobody wants it to come back, but if it does, we have the resources to help you guys out with it. And then we also have a lot of other resources. I'm going to turn it over to Bill and let him go. But I love Texas. We are here to stay. I mean, personally, if I didn't go back to Florida, I would really care that much. So I really enjoy it here. I appreciate you guys making me feel at home too, because you really have. I mean, the Texas people are unbelievably nice. And we do Cinco de Mayo down there too. So I mean, anyway, thank you.
Everybody got a card in? Okay. I hate talking about myself, so. Bill Weber, I've been in Texas for about 11 years now. I live in Salina. My background, I know it's a new guy out here right now for First Western, but about 20 years in the business, mortgage banking, real estate, and title. Started off as a loan originator, did that for years, back when Nations Bank was around. Anybody remember Nations Bank?
Yes.
So that was a while ago. And then got into the default world, foreclosure, bankruptcy, eviction, litigation, and REO. Did that for many, many, many years. I owned a title company in the Southeast, which covered 8 states. Had that for many years. We did several thousand Fannie Mae foreclosures a year, or REO closings a year. If there's anything that I can do for you personally, let me know. Again, I'm in Collin County in Salina. I'm on city council there. I don't know if y'all know about the growth that's coming. If you don't, then you've been sleeping. But I would love to sit down with you and go over it. If groups of you would like to as well, I'd like to set it up with EDC in Salina and kind of give you the plan of where we're going and what is coming to town. Just to throw out a couple of numbers, we're sitting on about 13,300 bodies right now in Salina. By 2020, we're projected to be at about 38,000. By 2025, 98,000.
Wow.
Yes. So by the end of this 12-month period, we will have roughly 10,100 lots on the ground. 12 months from now. So we've got 6 subdivisions right now pushing dirt. The Mustang Lake situation, of course, Light Farms, they were only supposed to have in the first 12 months 350 homes. Well, in about 16 months, they had, I think it was 980 homes on the ground. So I'm here for you. You let me know what you need. Do not hesitate to call. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you and I'll get an answer. So I'm going to be having the Collin County Association of Realtors at the end of the month. We're sponsoring a bus tour for Salina and Prosper.
please have a card in there, and I'll invite you. And I will be around quite often, and I'll be doing little events and things that I'd love to get you guys to start coming to. And we'll also be doing some more training situations as well coming up very, very soon. So
We've got a lot of really good apps. We've got a lot of fax press. We've
Yes.
got a lot of things that can help grow y'all's business. I was just texting Sarah to let her know to get out here and do some training for you guys with all these different things. They make a real big difference, and they work.
Yes,
So and
absolutely.
Bill's new. We're getting him up to speed. Sarah's gonna get out here and get him really educated on these things that we can provide you guys. Because it's really about growing your business. If we grow your business, if we grow our business,
It
we're
is.
all gonna be happy as punch.
it is.
And I agree, because I think that's what First Western Title was lacking. Yes, the customer service was there, the personal touch was there within the office, but we want to get out there and be more known and be able to visit and hang out with you guys more on a personal level, but
Absolutely.
provide support to your business versus just handling it at the end.
And we have an academy called First Western Academy, and we're gonna really start pushing that with classes and
Yes.
things like that. Like I thought it was very interesting listening to the Peter guy. 'Cause I bought a house in Colleyville. I can't figure out this thing with the water and going around the thing and why I don't have piers to begin with. I don't know if we do have piers, but, you know, in Florida, we're on Poly, you know, and so we already have that problem. And that's really educational. We have a person too that works for us that was a landscape, designer or whatever, and it's kind of interesting to talk about that. And input from you guys, what would be good classes that we can put on? Fraud is a huge one. You know, the wires are getting stolen between they're fishing the net. We have a great program for that too, a great thing on how to prevent
Well, and sorry to interrupt you, but we notice when we do have classes, very little turnout comes, so maybe we need to put out like a big amount of gift card.
Yeah, we should do something.
So you come to the classes.
No, a lot of it is we need to know what kind of classes you have. Because that was one of the things that was lacking before is we didn't know what was available to bring in.
Correct.
So you let me know what's available to bring in. I'll go to them and say, what would you like?
And then maybe we'll do the gift
We'll bring it
card.
in.
And we'll give you a suite of like topics.
Perfect.
That's what we're trying to do. I'm really trying to get it organized. Since I love being, I just stay out here. This is all I work on. So I really like it. And so we're going to get it together. So it really benefits you guys.
Yeah, okay, so, okay, go
I'm just gonna say, I've got a card in front of you. If there's, for whatever reason, there's not one, I've got cards. Please take one. Again, feel free to call me. That is 7 days a week. So.
Yes.
That's it.
Midnight, call me
And
midnight.
just
Let me know if
because,
you
oh,
have.
and then,
At 3 in the morning.
And we are working on a McKinney location, but just so you know, I close here at RE/MAX for quarters. I've always had that option for everyone. Some people like to come to the office, but once we do open a McKinney office, which I believe we're interviewing now,
Oh, yeah. As
we'll
we
have a
speak.
location, but that still won't take
Literally.
away from this office because we want RE/MAX four corners to be well known. You know, rather than the title company, sometimes just knowing where the RE/MAX office is helps the client come back. Okay, so.
This is a good
We're
group. I
doing
love
the
that
Chipotle.
office.
Okay, Marshall,
Oh, I get to draw.
do the honors. Okay, Chipotle. Since you came to visit.
I'm not gonna lie.
He lives here now.
Yeah.
Doug?
Woo! Okay, so this is a
That's it,
Cinco
right?
de Mayo theme, just so you know.
That's
That's
all.
why it's Chipotle.
And for Amanda's birthday, because obviously Cinco de Mayo is
Cinco de
Amanda's
Mayo.
birthday.
Oh, yes. Woohoo!
And another Chipotle card.
There it is.
Katrina.
She always wins, doesn't she? She wins.
I'm the worst to be picked. I'm terrible. I'm terrible at names. I'm not looking, so. Julia.
Julia's
Woo!
I'm taking the card.
Perfect. Here we go. Here. It's got glass in there. Okay, so. Perfect. Well, thank you guys for letting us sponsor. We appreciate you.
Hey, before you guys go, can I ask one quick question?
Yeah.
Being a lawyer, I want to ask you one thing. Do you guys need lawyers on the weekends? Is there anything that you need help with? Like, is that a thing, like changing contracts? Does that ever come up? Or, because we do have that support if you need it. So I just want to throw that
Little
out.
bit, yeah.
You know, because I know that out here, realtors can change, in Florida, they can change the contract, but out here, you're not allowed to. So I just want to let you know, we're going to have a lawyer available 24/7 on the weekends and things like that. So you call them up, get something changed, something you need them. I actually had somebody call me and we saved the deal, and it's kind of fun, so.
Yeah, you guys have Legal Shield? It might be First Western Shield.
Anyways, just throwing that out. I don't get out much, so. But thank you.
Thank you.
And next, I'd like to welcome Glenn Mosier coming up, on guard.
Well, guys, it's always a pleasure to be in front of you guys. We are now in May, and almost every home warranty has dropped their 2017 brochures. If you have not seen them, you definitely need to be aware of that. Most of them have increased by $40 to $50 per plan, and also increased the service fees. So when you're writing your contracts, you definitely need to be aware of that. One thing that we have done, we're keeping everything the same. We're not increasing our prices. We are keeping our service fees the same and still offering all the services. We're still covering free on 100%. Right now, it's about $100 a pound. I'm going to guess it's going to get a little higher than that with the production being cut by a quarter again this year. Like I said last time, it's going to be about $150. That's pretty scary to think that a homeowner is going to have to pay that. We also have HVAC equipment compatibility. So if the outdoor unit goes out and they have our Centurion plan, we're going to help take care of both pieces of the pie. Unfortunately, you can replace an indoor unit and not have to touch the outdoor unit. But if the outdoor unit has to be replaced, you have to replace the indoor unit because the coil will not handle the pressure of 14A. It's a lot higher versus the R22. So just know that. I'd love to come in here and teach a class on the Freon phase out. Teach you guys to go beyond just walking into a house. Isn't this great? Going out to that outdoor unit and describing to the potential buyer, hey, this is an R22 system or it's a 14A. Unfortunately, the only inspector that I know that actually does identify that on their inspection report is Super Inspector. That's pretty, I mean, think about it. If you can walk out there and I can show you right now how you can look on that outdoor unit and tell if it's an R22 or a 14A system. You look at your buyer and say, this could potentially cost you a little bit more money in the long run, and they come back to you and go, hey, thanks a lot. You gave me more dollars than anybody else ever has. You know, it's taking that customer care to the next level. I'd love to show you guys that. I have it on my phone. Just let me know. We also have 13 services that we're providing to all our clients. Pest control. I just had a client sign up with us with pest control. She goes, great, I can actually cancel my, my quarterly pest control. They're charging $108, and you guys charge $69. We also do window washing, carpet cleaning, lawn treatments, HVAC tune-ups. We're trying to be known as a company that you only have to need once. We're it. That's one reason why our renewal rate is about 70%. Because most home warranties only cover what breaks. Get that. And then if most people don't ever use it, they don't renew it. We want to give them an opportunity to see the value in what we do and renew that. Our renewal rate is 70%. The industry standard is about 37%. So we're pretty happy about that. There's also gum on y'all's desk. Cindy, why do I give everybody gum? Why do I give everybody gum? You were there.
Not paying attention.
That's a test. Oh, that's actually a really good one. I'm still that one. I'm doing last go around. I actually give everybody gum because, in my opinion, your home warranty should never leave a bad taste in your mouth. Okay, you guys, if you ever have any questions, concerns, let me know. I always love hearing stories. As soon as I walked in today, I was approached by a story that's meant a lot to me because we actually helped take care of a client. You know, they've house been vacant for 5 years, and they've called us, and we've pretty much taken care of everything they needed. So I didn't want to put you on the spot. That's all right. But no, you had a question.
So the carpet cleaning, window washing, that's a service?
Yes. Yes, sir. That's it. $69.
Really?
So, like for example, lawn fertilization, 10,000 square foot, $69 will come out there. Right now, they just started the spot treatments for weeds. So from May to about August is the proper time to do that. Our contractor will come out and actually spot treat the weeds. They'll spray them, fill them off. And it leaves a little brown circle, but a homeowner who doesn't have time to do that on a daily basis, we all know what HOAs will do.
Yeah.
They'll send you letters, they'll fine you.
Especially Craig Ranch.
Right. So it's nice to have that as an extra bonus. And as far as sellers coverage is concerned, all those services, we actually provide those to sellers. as well for $69. So if you have a make ready, like our carpet cleaning is 3 rooms. I mean, honestly, how many times we are going in a house that has more than 3 rooms worth of carpet? Not, we're going tile and hardwood floors. So for $69, we'll clean those 3 rooms for carpet. Yeah, and that's all they have to pay is the $69 every time they call us. Now, if they need a service, as far as like their HVAC goes out, because Seller's Coverage is a loss leader for home warranties in Texas, because it is a buyer's choice state, we usually lose about $600 per seller's plan if the buyer doesn't convert. So we definitely want them to convert. But what happens is, say you have a seller's plan, HVAC goes out. Call us, let us know, hey, I got to have somebody out here. We collect $200 to activate the policy, plus the $69 service fee. Go out there, make sure everything fixed out. What's great is if the buyer picks OneGuard, that $200, then at closing, we credit off the policy. So it's like they're getting it back in the end. Makes the buyer's plan a lot cheaper. Any questions?
So
Awesome.
like pest control, is that a quarterly commitment or just
Nope.
all as you need it?
Call as you need it.
Okay. On these service items? all
Yes,
as you
ma'am.
need it.
Yes, ma'am. Now, there's certain time frames like the HVAC tune-ups. We're getting into the season where HVAC calls are coming in regularly, so we stop the tune-ups. That way our contractors can commit and focus on repairs. And I'll stick around, guys. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. Like I said, my card is on all the brochures. Email, phone calls, whatever's best for you guys. I'm always available. Okay? Thank you.
Next, we'll have Kristen come up with Great Western.
Hey guys, I wanted to say hi again. I wanted to introduce, has everybody met Teddy? He's here.
Most of the people in the last meeting.
And then Jason back here in the back is in our Frisco branch. He's going to transition out here as well. We are slowly but surely kind of getting everything kind of moved in. Thanks to Chris's fantastic connection, we finally have internet. Initially, the DSL was so slow that we could only work 1 phone in this office. The speed was a maximum of 4 megs. So we now are running at 100. They hooked that up yesterday. So that's been an ordeal. But other than that, anything you guys have that's going on that you can help with, feel free to stop by and see us. Some stuff that's recently came out, the new Fannie Mae guide for April. Student loans, they're now taking the credit report payment again rather than 1%. So it's going to help qualification. They are now allowing a home that's been listed as long as the listing doesn't have to wait 6 months now before they can refinance. Some stuff with how we document bank statements and stuff. All of it good news. All of it really kind of guidelines loosening rather than the tightening and restriction we've seen for so long before that. And then lastly, if anybody wants lunch tomorrow, I am teaching a class at the Collin County Association of Realtors called Mastering the Home Buyer. And it is basically a class that talks about the psychology of the sale and what you do to actually prepare your buyer to be ready to pull the trigger when you show them a home, so that you're selling them in that first or second time out in the car rather than showing that same person over and over and over again. But it's at Richwood's Country Club there in Frisco. Landon Homes is buying everybody lunch, so that's at 11:30. Networking class will start at 12. Any questions for us? Any mortgage questions? Anybody come up with anything? Yeah.
I just would like you to be able to get the step fund. I have like 4 people who need that program.
The staff. We've looked at all of the actual homebuyer assistance programs. We've talked about them a lot. One of the issues we have is FHA actually suspended them for a while as being somewhat predatory from a liability. There's some concern. We see them as, it gives, for example, the set will give up to 5% and down payment assistance to the borrower. But then they take about 1.5% in fees from them, and then the rate is normally anywhere from 1/2 to 3/4 higher than the standard rate because they set that rate as well. So a lot of times when we look at it, so we're talking about it a lot, and we may end up signing up and getting all of that. But that's where our conflict is it's not always a great program for the borrower. And so our first focus is always whether it's good for the borrower. When you look at that kind of predatory rate, and then hey, we're going to give you 5%, but 1.5% comes off the top automatically for fees. That's where we just struggled with a little bit, and especially after Fannie Mae kind of suspended it for a while. It's back on. They talked it through, and they're able to go again. But Fannie Mae's suspension was because they were looking at it as predatory as well, mainly because of the rate. So, but I think we're supposed to talk about that in the next management meeting, so we'll see. Anybody else?
I just have a couple actually. Probably not buying until 9 or 10 months off from now, end of the year, but self-employed, write a ton of off. Looks like they make nothing on paper. Are they loosening that at all? I know it used to be 2 years. There might be a 1-year option of looking at a good year. Or,
So that actually just worsened. So we always had the 1 year. We had the 1 year option for Freddie guidelines. Fannie Mae is 2 years. Now you can still get when you run it through. Everything else is clean. It can still give you reduced documentation and only call for 1 year. We've got a new thing called Day One Certainty that reduces all the documentation. But it has to be a really clean file. And self-employed tend to not qualify for that. Fannie still will, or Freddie will still do the 1 year. What they've added though is you have to have 5 years at least of self-employment history. Whereas before you could actually be 1 year self-employed, qualify with 1 year. So that part of it. So if your people have at least 5 years.
11,
yeah. So you could do 1 year tax returns going through Freddie Mac.
Great credit, but I mean, like they write everything.
Yeah, and self-employed borrowers are the most underserved in the mortgage market today. Mostly because what you had was kind of back in the old days, stated income was originally brought out as you can only use it for self-employed. And it kind of started being used to everybody, the no doc got out of control. And part of Dodd-Frank, they actually wrote in that a stated income loan is no longer a qualified mortgage, which puts additional liability on the lender. So now you don't have that. We do have a bank statement program that's a portfolio, but it's going to require 30% down. It's a 5-1 arm, and it's going to put you in the high 60s.
Yeah.
So it's not, it is a Band-Aid, not a fix.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that we're seeing some of those portfolio programs start to come out is showing us that we are maybe going to see some guidelines that are less QM and maybe some, but I don't know when. Yeah. But for now, the 1 year is still an option for you. You should have to take it Freddie rather
Is there
than
a cutoff? Like, are they changing that soon? You said?
You never know. They've rumored, changing some different stuff and mirroring them because they're both actually overseen by the U.S. government now. But as far as I know, the fact that they just changed that to a 5-year minimum rather than the single tells me they're probably not going to make any other change to that anytime soon since they just made one.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else? All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Next, as you can tell.
I like to do this about once a year. I'd like to have American Lifestyle come out, talk about their magazine, and how they do it with you guys. It's a great way to market. So come on up.
Guys. Okay, well, I'm Catherine Walker. I'm from Reminder Media. That's our parent company, and our product is American Lifestyle Magazine. And our company's been around for over a decade now. And the one thing that we have learned by coming out and visiting real estate offices is just how busy you guys are. You have a lot of irons in the fire, and so there's a lot to keep up with and a lot to keep track of. And so that's honestly why I've been invited out today, is to help you guys build a lead generation program that actually helps you work smarter, not harder, by focusing on the relationships that you currently already have in existence. I know the last thing any business can afford is to lose a client to the competition. And yet I think you'd be amazed how many business professionals are actively marketing to their core clients and their sphere of influence, meaning your top 50 to 100 people. And instead they're going after someone they've never even met and trying to start a relationship and build a relationship from the ground up. And that just takes time to develop that trust. We just had an agent join our program who drove carpool for some area kids in her neighborhood. And she drove up one day and to pick up her carpool kid, and there was the for sale sign in their yard. And it was her sign, and she just felt so low because she said, they trust me with their child. I'm pretty sure they would have trusted me with their listing. They just forgot she was in real estate. And she said, I'm tired of this happening. I don't want this feeling of they forgot I was in real estate. They forgot that they could use me. And so she said, I got to fix that. I got to keep reminding them. I got to stay in front of these key people in my life that haven't used me, but they would when the time comes. And so she hooked up with our program to fix that. And then for any of you guys who have been in the business for a long time, NAR has a statistic for you. And that is that 88% of clients polled leaving a closing would use that same agent. That's pretty good. 88% are happy with the services that you provided. And so do any of y'all know the stat of, let's fast forward 5 years, now it's that person's ready to move again.
12.
That's it. 12%. That's a pretty big disconnect. 88% said, yeah, I would use them again. Only 12% are coming back. And so that leaves a lot of room where they're probably not sending referrals either. If they're not thinking to use you again, they're not passing along people they know, connecting the dots between who's in need of real estate services and you. So that's a pretty big draw. So that's a problem we fix too. We want all your repeats to come right back to you around, and we want them to be sending you referrals. Because NAR also says the average person can send you 3 to 5 referrals every year. So if you concentrate on your top 50 to 100 people and get them to come back to you and get them to send you those referrals, there's your business right there. You just love on these key people. So how we do that, and I know you guys have heard sales gurus preach sending an item of value to your key clients and your sphere of influence, and that's honestly what we feel like we have with the American Lifestyle magazine. So let me just send this down. Okay, perfect. There you go. Okay, so on the front cover is the compliments of line. That's where your name would go. You have a choice to put it on. I know you probably seen it,
I've seen it. He's good.
You have your choice to put your photo on the front cover, and of course all of your contact information, RE/MAX logo right there. You get to choose what you want on the front cover out of 9 choices. Then if you open it up on the inside is where it really gets interesting, because you notice it's personalized to your client. So this is where we start you off with an editorial letter that's fully written. You could go with that. But you can erase all of that and create your own letter. You can bookend it where you're talking a little bit about you or a little bit about the person that you're sending it to, so you can do a hybrid. Anyway, this is completely customizable so that you can write down to each and every individual client if you choose. Again, visual recognition and contact information right here. That gets into a different part of the brain, visually stimulating. Then we've got the tear out cards. You're going to see one in the front and one in the back. You actually get to choose what is on these tear out cards, a recipe, a design tip, a gardening tip, exercise, whatever. But what I always say is if you make it easy for people to pass your name along, they will do it. If they have to remember how to spell your last name or go Google and look up your phone number, all of a sudden it's just way too hard for them and they don't do it. So when you have these tear out cards, you're making it easy when someone is looking to move, they can give your information out. We have 48 pages of gorgeous magazine. We have, there's always a design section, a travel section, food. They feature an artist. So literally slice of life in America, great content. Your second referral card in the back, you want them to give you 2 referrals every magazine. That would be phenomenal. So then we have, this is a customizable back page. I recommend that you put your testimonials from your clients, word of mouth referrals, and all those Yelp reviews, if you will, are very powerful to people. They like to hear how other people felt with how you provided service. Then on the back, you can include listings. We have a 1 template, a 1 house template, a 2 house template, so you can just drop pictures in and think how powerful that would be at a listing appointment when you say, you know what, I can include your property that is going to be marketed to my sphere of influence as an additional way to get your your house out there. And that can just be just a little added kick. And then also showing this off in a listing appointment also really sets you apart. Because what I will tell you is perception is reality. And in real estate, what you want to do is give all the people in your sphere confidence that you're a real estate agent to use. And what this does is make you look the part. You look like a top producer. You look like you got it all figured out. You're on the cover of a magazine and you're sending this out to them. So what does that mean? They're going to feel very comfortable. Oh, here's my agent. This is the one I'd recommend. It looks very professional. And so that really helps those referrals just come along to the door. I was doing a presentation last week, and there were 2 agents that were already in our program there, and both of them were working a listing that they had gotten from the magazine. And one guy said, yeah, I got 2 last year from the magazine, working 1 right now. So I'm telling you, it works. And the reason it works is because to the recipient, it feels like a magazine. It acts like a magazine, walks like a magazine, talks like a magazine. So what that means is that it is in their house 4 to 6 weeks. So it's in their house about a month and a half. That's what the stat on a magazine is. And it's not read cover to cover. It's actually picked up 5 to 7 times. So what that means is that for your one investment in it, it's actually being seen multiple times. And every time they pick it up, they're seeing your face, they're seeing your name, they're remembering, and it's just that consistency going into their brain that you are in real estate to help jog their memory about who do I know, to make those connections. So because it's a magazine, it works completely differently than anything else that you use for marketing. So it really breaks through the clutter. And not only that, but I like to think of when you're in the zone of a magazine, like I go poolside, you know, and you're looking at a magazine, you're in a little bit more relaxed state of mind. You're not so hurry, like, you know, social media and emails and things like that nowadays. And so it actually helps that moment of very good time to connect you with people. So that's a really good thing. So because my company is working smarter, not harder as well, by talking to you guys all as a group, we actually have some really amazing price breaks for y'all, just to consider our program and think about it. And so if you pull out the white sheet that was in the magazine, I can go over what some of those price breaks are. Today, the normal activation fee to get into our program is $299, because you're going to have a marketing team that's going to be connected with you that is actually going to give you the guidance not only to use our program, but best strategies to use it. Like, for instance, we have, you can get generic copies of these at 15 or more bulk shipped directly to you. And then you're able to use them at open houses. I have heard amazing success with all of a sudden they're the chosen agent because they passed out one of these instead of a business card. And it just sets them apart. When they go home, this is what they're looking at. It's just a bigger splash. It's just a more branded approach, more professional. So anyway, so you can use those in a different way so that the marketing team's going to help you to help this grow your business. Do these for pop buys. You know, you go to a doctor's office and ask if you can leave this in the office, and they're always looking for stuff like that. You can include them on your list. I would definitely have on your list going out your doctor, your dentist, your vet, all those people that you do business with. God bless you. It's the season. And so that's just a different way to use it, and the marketing team is going to help you with that. It's like kind of a little guru in your pocket. But so normally it's $299, and that's what people sign up in our program all the time. But we're taking $200 off of that today, so that's pretty good. You're going to get it for just $99, so that activates your account with us. And then we're going to give you the lowest price that we offer per magazine, which is $3.79 per magazine, and that includes all the printing, all the customization to make it yours, and the postage. So that's literally out the door for $3.79, which is pretty darn amazing. We ask that you send a minimum of 50. So $3.79 times 50 would be $189.50. Now, remember, the magazine's going to stay in the home for a month and a half. So we mail every 8 weeks. So that $189.50 is gonna be for 50, but you're only gonna, pay it and then it's gonna last for 2 months. So it's less than $100 a month to use our program. To be this high end at less than $100 a month, it's really incredible. Then one thing that we also offer you is a one-time trial mailer. Don't take my word for it. I can tell you tons and tons and tons of success stories. Tons of stories on the very first mailing of people getting listings. I mean, agents come up to me all the time. I've collected them and they're amazing. But go see for yourself. Go test the waters. See whether you like using the program, whether it's easy to use from your side. See what your people think about receiving it. See if it doesn't create a splash right before summer to get you in front of these key people. And here's what I will guarantee you. You will get text, calls, and emails about it. You send this one time, I guarantee you, people are going to notice it, they're going to connect it to you, and they're going to reach out to you. Can you ask something from marketing better than that? It's a call, it will get action created from the people you send it to. I even had an agent who sent it out, and there was a chocolate meringue pie recipe in there. And the person she sent it to made a chocolate meringue pie and brought it up to the office and said, "Thank you for getting the magazine." So you might get pie. so that's kind of cool. So the way that our trial works is that you get to send it out at the $3.79 per issue, times 50 or more, however many you want. And then you have 5 weeks after it goes out to determine yay or nay, you like it or you don't. So it gives you plenty of time to really gauge that and garnish that feedback. And then our last offering that just came out in January is to do a digital edition of this. The magazine is the key component, but as an additive, you can add in the digital edition, which is a mini version of this. Some videos, just sort of like one article versus the whole thing. And what that gives you is 1,000 emails, up to 1,000 email addresses. So that's pretty much your secondary data, everyone else in your database. It also can be shared on social media, and it's branded with your photo, your contact name, your email, your website, all fully clickable. So easy for them to contact you, easy for them to forward it to someone else. So it's really cool, good stuff, and this kind of creates that whole cohesive branding that is so wonderful to do the 1-2 hit, get something in their hot little hands, and then get the email blast out to your Bs on the list and go look for it. Trying to move them to the A list. So all I need from you is if you want to take advantage of the saving $200 is just to fill this out, and then I fax it in from here, and you get this back as a receipt. So it's a pretty easy process. And I'll be around if you have any questions at all. Does anyone have anything right now that they're thinking of?
My husband and I do the magazine, and we got a listing from actually double-sided from our vet office because we mailed to there.
Love it.
And then the first time we sent them out, literally got 37 texts and or calls saying, "Oh my gosh," and then every since then they'll trickle in now. Like, "Hey, still read your magazine, still got it."
Love it. That is amazing. That is so. 37 from a marketing campaign. I love it. That just makes me so happy.
What is the turnaround to create all of this and have it ready for
Your first time? It's usually 3 to 5 weeks from today, and that is more dependent upon you getting your mailing list in and getting your photo in. We print every Wednesday. So we deadline every Wednesday and we print every Saturday. So I'm just saying we go weekly. So if you have something that you're trying to get it in front of, just write that at the top and we'll try our best to do that.
And then last question is, I know you said you can mail them out, but is there a way to pick up some to go drop off?
Yes, those are called our promo copies, and you can get 15 or more bulk shipped directly to you by UPS, and so then you can use them. And I do recommend doing that just to have a little stack full for different things.
They come automatically every month.
But the nice thing is they're not dated.
They're not. They're evergreen.
I have, well, they come every 2 months, but if you get 15 sent to you, they're not dated. So I didn't use them on the first month, but I could keep handing them out.
Great.
I can still hand them to you now. You don't know that.
You don't know.
For a year.
Yeah. We've thought of everything for you guys. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So so just let me know if there's anything else. I'm right here and would love to love to, help you guys get some business from this.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna speed through the rest of this. I know you guys are probably ready to get out of here. Contract time, foundation work, specifically about interior piers. Anyway, thank you. Had a issue come up to me over the weekend where Stratum did the foundation work on a property and had placed in the proposal for the flooring that had just been put down to be professionally removed so it can be reinstalled after they finish the work on the interior of the home. Of course, they have to go through the slab. So the great listing agent on the other side decided to tell Stratum, oh, we gave them a $5,000 flooring allowance. They're not going to use that flooring, just throw it away. It was brand new flooring. The $5,000 flooring allowance was for the upstairs, and it was flooring and a paint allowance. $5,000 is not going to cover 2,600 square foot. Sorry. So anyway, Stratum destroyed the flooring, destroyed the carpet, went through, did everything. Buyer gets to closing the home, goes back and goes, I've got no flooring now. Where's my flooring? And hadn't finished the plumbing. So that was the reason why they had done it before. So anyway, they come back in and now we're going, where's our flooring? When we contracted the home had new flooring that was just installed. And they're going, oh, sorry? No, not sorry. So you're going to tell me when the flooring person is coming out to reinstall the flooring, right? Or put in new flooring now that was just put in. And so we're still going back and forth. I talked to the broker twice on Monday, and she was still trying to get a hold of her agent when I talked to her about 5 o'clock on Monday. So we are trying to get the flooring reinstalled that was just thrown out of the house. So, and the agent's response was, well, you didn't put it in the amendment for the flooring to be reinstalled. No, it's right there on the proposal from Stratum. It was brand new flooring. And so anyway.
It was mine. We're all tattling about me.
Yes.
I was way too trusting.
Yeah, well, yeah. It wasn't you. It was, anyway, whenever you contract a home, whether there's foundation work done or not, the home has to be in the same condition as when it was contracted. You had brand new flooring, it was just installed. That brand new flooring needs to be back in that home. Same thing. So we are working on that now. Next. Design Center. Please utilize Design Center. It's free for you guys. I know hardly none of you use Design Center. You do? You do? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. It's easy to do through there. I mean, it is super easy to send out, send postcards out. I use Express Copy, and I download, send them my stuff, upload the postcard, and get everything sent out. It is super easy to use, super easy to share. I'm actually in the middle of creating a trifold brochure on there right now for another project I'm doing. But I mean, you can download it, print it, email it, postcards, listing presentations, digital presentations. It is awesome. And so please utilize that. It's free for you guys. I'll do that. That's the reason I handed out that paper. Right over the paper. All right. Yeah, it is. New fiber service. I need to thank Lorraine Tedesco for this because AT&T was killing me. We had started this project in into December about getting fiber into the office. Got them to pull the wire in, and then they canceled the order. Called them up going, where were you guys completing the fiber? We don't have you down anywhere. I'm going, wait a minute. You guys have already been here twice to do this. They're going, no, we don't have that you can get fiber. We only have that you can get DSL is the maximum you can get. So Maureen puts me in contact with somebody at AT&T. She calls me, and I said, I've got DSL for a real estate office. She goes, my son would kill me if I only had DSL. I said, yes, thank you what 50 agents are doing for me right now. So anyway, they actually came out on Wednesday or Thursday of last week, completed the connection. So we now have 50 megs up, 50 megs down, 10 megs up. so we can stream. And once our contract is close to completion with our telephone company in August, we're going to Ring Central. Ring Central is a voice over IP system. You're all going to have your own extensions. I'm not going to play the little Ring Central thing I was going to do, but it's going to be an awesome system for you guys. It's going to be where you're going to have your own app on your phones. You can tell whether you're available, unavailable. It's going to be a nice system. Okay, and so we are again going to give you that probably end of July, 1st of August. Okay, so it'll help basically make you, I said, more technology savvy, but also help you expedite your business. And that's really what we're looking for. There's Google Docs that comes off Ring Central. It's a really nice feature for all you agents. Okay. New listings and price changes. Anybody got any new listings? I know you do. Yes, ma'am.
Got several, let's see, hold on a second, yeah, really busy week.
Yes.
I've got one coming up this weekend in Clifton Park in McKinney, and it's gonna be listed at 605, it's 4,600 square foot, beautiful finish out, just top of the line, every gorgeous old world style, and it's got a pool and a spa and a huge backyard that's private, so, very nice, 605. So that's going to be this weekend. And then I've got one in Meadow Ridge, which is the older section of Stonebridge off of Lake Forest. And that's 2,800 square feet. That's what I think your client is coming on Saturday.
Yep.
2,800 square foot, got a huge half-acre backyard with a really gorgeous pool and a very nice finish out, granite everywhere. That's going to be listed at $399.9. And then I've got one coming in Frisco, which is in Greyhawk, and that's going to be this weekend also, and that's going to be listed at $369.9, I think. And that's 3,500 square foot, no pool or anything, but it's a very nice home. Good price for that, for Frisco, in the 369, 365 area. No granite or anything like that, but it's got hardwood floors and a very nice backyard, new fence. Some nice little touches. So I think that's it for now. I have a couple more that are coming up, but not yet. So.
Anybody else got anything?
Well, and Alan's going live tomorrow. It's on coming soon now. 290, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and it has an extra bonus area upstairs. It's 9 by 9 can be used or study or craft room or whatever.
Okay.
Cool. Has a pool.
I don't know, I want to type about mine. Like,
Is this your little cottage?
my little cottage.
That's so cute.
It would be a fantastic investment. Because if you're Donaldson, if you don't know, you don't look for rentals in Donaldson on the MLS.
You can't find them.
If you don't look for rentals in Donaldson on the MLS last year,
There's
and you
nothing
might
in
find
Austin or
two. So, if you know anyone that's looking for an investment, it would be a great investment. My investment board, if you look on the MLS, look it up, seriously. Put it here, go look at the picture on the MLS, you would not think it's the same house. It is. If you read,
What street is it on?
Sherman,
Sure.
675 North Sherman.
And it is a house, not a home.
No, it is a house, it's here and there, he's reading all the floors, he's reading all the walls, he's reading the bathroom, he's reading the kitchen. We've even put a stackable washer and dryer in there because it's not room for a side-by-side. So I'm like, just put one in there.
Yeah.
So it's small, but
Very
it's a
investable
great,
property.
yeah,
I can
investment
see that.
of 105.
Wow.
It's
No.
fairly small, it's not got a huge yard or anything, but we must have had grass, right? Says she on 2 acres.
Yes, ma'am.
When she said you have something for $399.9,
Uh-huh.
why not put it out at 400 and then you get double the lookers? You get the Ford and 425 and the 375 and 4.
Yeah, I know, and I usually do that, but this particular client wants to read up on the psychological deal about you're getting a deal type thing, and I do. That's what I do now. I round it off.
Double the eyeball.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay, I just wondered.
No, I do. I round it off. But a lot of them they watch HGTV or they do little things, and they think it's right. It used to be the thought that it was a psychological thing. You're paying $1.99.
Wait a minute. You're working with a buyer and you're having to show more than 3 homes?
still there. Don't worry about it. Just take your day.
Go have, come back to me in a couple days.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. You know, when coming up in the historical district, it's quite large. It's almost 4,000 square feet. 5 bedrooms, 4 baths.
Wow.
It's really beautiful, built in 18.
What size lot?
Very small, that's the problem. Does have a 2-car detached, yeah. And it'll be just under 600.
Wow.
What street?
Howell.
Oh.
That's,
I have a couple of acres too, if anyone's looking to build, it's outside the city limits, and you can put like, don't worry about it, so.
I have somebody looking to put in a cult. Is that okay?
There's a lot of I'm concerned, yeah, people buy a lot, yeah. But I've had people asking about condominiums,
Yeah.
there's a lot of cities don't allow those, or the speed restrictions, or.
Mr. Sassoon.
I won't talk about my listening to her way far away, it's coming up, but, I was just gonna, I don't know why you didn't talk about it, but, Stratum, Brian, the owner, not the one who's here, is actually my neighbor, I was just gonna share, because I think it's helpful. He has now a separate, company that he started up called Level Up. So if you have anyone that has sidewalks, you know,
Oh.
separated,
Yeah.
you know, driveways and whatnot, they drove through, and then he did it for my front walk. They drove through and they inject like a foam.
Yeah,
and
really?
it's up the sidewalk.
That's
roll
cool.
it out, and it's way cheaper than.
Oh, yeah.
How much
Have him
is
send me that.
I don't know why he didn't talk about it, I know it's a different
Yeah.
division of this.
Get that info and send it over.
Told
so I can
Ryan
share
the other night, I
it.
said, well, he gave me a.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. how they-
It's done pricey, yeah.
But it's cheaper than replacing.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
absolutely.
Yeah.
If anybody's got somebody looking for 2 acres in Salina, we will, and we're starting on a flip, actually Monday, so it's ahead of the curve. So it's gonna be pumped out to Gil, so, 2 acres, 2,700 square foot ranch, so.
Oh my gosh.
See, you need to start a new business, pimpmyhouse.com. All right, remember the reason you're in this business? Entrepreneurs are willing to work 80 hours a week to avoid working 40 hours a week.
Right.
I'd rather work 80 hours a week doing my own thing than sitting in an office 40 hours a week, any day of the week. So, y'all have a great day and go enjoy yourself. Thank you for coming in and spending your time. Just put them in my office or give them to Crystal, as a matter of fact.
You get it all fixed up on there.
Oh, 99.